Hi, in this video tutorial we will explore how to install Pandas library in InterSystems, as well as how to use the Pandas library in conjunction with embedded Python. So first of all, we should get Pandas installed with InterSystems. To do that, you can use the following command. So I'm gonna do iris pip install. So I already have Pandas installed in my machine, so I'm just gonna show you how to get it done. So it is iris pip install, and the target will be I'm putting Pandas within C InterSystems iris manager Python folder. So if I run this, it should collect the Pandas library and start installing in that folder. Also make sure that you are in administrator mode in the command prompt. Okay, until this run, I'm just going to open up just going to browse to the file. Let's go to C systems iris bin, sorry, iris manager mgr, and if you look at, I have Python installed within this. So it is actually, when I install Python, with Python it is installing around 6 packages. Okay, we should let it run. So since I have Pandas already installed, I'm just gonna create a new instance of Pandas using object script. So I'm gonna paste that code. So this will create a new instance of Python. If you rewrite Python, you will see a Python object has been created. So I'm also gonna import the built-ins library. This comes standard with InterSystems, so you don't need to install it separately. So again, let's do a rewrite, and you see the both objects are there. So using the built-ins library, you can do something like this. The print can say hello world. This will actually print the hello world here. I will be using this built-in print to display data sets, data frames in Pandas. Okay, so the data set that I'm going to use is employees dataset. This is the one. So it is CSV dataset. It has around 1000 records. Okay, it should be opening in Visual Studio. Let me close that and open it with Notepad++. Let's give it a second. Okay, so let me clean up this. Yeah, so it has first name, gender, start date, last login time, salary, bonus percentage, whether the employee is a senior management, part of the senior management team, and which team does the employee belong to. Okay, let's go ahead and import this dataset to Pandas. So in order to import the dataset, you use, since it is a CSV file, you will be using read CSV. So let me come back, paste it here. So set data frame pandas. Oh, I have not imported pandas library, so let's do that first. Set pandas equals python dot import and pandas. Okay, so I'm assuming this is done. So actually what this says is I already have the package. If I want to upgrade, just use this switch to upgrade it. Okay, I have now. If I do a zwrite, you can see I have the pandas library built in and the Python object. Okay, so now let's import the employee CSV file to the data frame. So if I do a zwrite data frame, you can see the data. So a better way of putting it is using built-ins.print and the data frame. And you see it arranges the data properly. So if you see, there is the first name, gender, the team, the senior management, and there is 100,000 rows with 8 columns. Okay. So we can visualize the data frame using the head and tail method. That means it gives you a quick glance how the data frame looks like. So let's do that. So do the built-ins.print data frame.head. So if you look at this, it gives you more idea of how the data frame, the first 5 records of the data frame looks like. And you can increase it to see more data if you want, and if you want to look at the last, you can use the tail. Also, there you can use df.columns to look at what are the columns available. So if you look at this, there is the first name, gender, start date, last login time, salary, bonus percentage, senior management, and team. Okay, so let's do some cleanups. So first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna look at how the df dot start date looks like. So if you look at the start date, it is formatted as month, date, and year. So I'm gonna convert this so that it is usable as a date time in Pandas. So the method is toDateTime, and then I'm passing the start date in here. So okay, Panda okay, there is a syntax error. Let's look at it. Okay, now it should be fine. Let me again print the start date. Now if you notice the difference between the previous one, it is formatted into a usable Pandas date time. Look, the previous one looks like this, and now it is formatted into something we can use. Next thing I'm going to do is do the same to the last login time. Let's check how the last login time looks like. Last login time. Okay, it looks like this. I'm going to do the same. Okay. Now if you look at the last login time, since I used toDateTime, it actually embedded the date here, which is not accurate, but I need but there are various ways of formatting the date time. I'm still learning Pandas, so bear with me, please. Okay, so if I look at the salary column, let's display the salary column. Okay, I think you can do like that. I know. Okay, if I look at the salary column, I noticed that in the salary there is some blank values. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the mean salary. So in order to get the mean salary, I can do something like this. Mean salary. So if I do get mean salary, okay, I need to do a Z, right? The mean salary is 90, or I can do, actually, let's do this. Mean salary, so it is 90,000, and I'm gonna insert the mean salary where okay, let me try to see data frame dot okay. Anyways, I'm gonna insert the mean salary where there are blank values. So to do that, you do something like this. So this is in the data frame salary column, you fill in means blanks and the mean salary. Okay. Now let's do some let's calculate the average salary by gender. So to calculate the average salary by gender, first of all I'm gonna print this using do built-in.print, and I'm gonna group by, get the data frame, group by gender, and then get the salary and get the mean. So if you look at this, you have the gender, which is male and female, and the mean salary. The next is similar to this. I'm going to calculate the average bonus percentage by team. So, which is the same. I'm going to do built-in.print, data frame, and group by team, and get the bonus percentage and get the mean. So if you look at it, the team, the business development gets around 10%, the client services around 10%, distribution around 9%, engineering 10, etc., etc. Next, I'm going to get the number of employees hired each year. So I'm going to use the start date, and from using the start date, I'm going to get the year and sort it by year. If you look at it, starting from 1981, there is 30 employees. 1980, there is 30, 81, 82, and so on and so on. Notice that we are using value counts to count the number of employees. So another example using value counts is that the number of senior employees in the company, or the number of I'm using the senior management column to look for the value true and false. So let's see how many senior employees are there, and how many employees are senior and how many employees are not. Okay, so we did a lot of changes to the Pandas data frame, and let's output that data frame into a CSV file. So to export that data frame, you can use this command, do data frame to CSV, and I'm just gonna use employees out.csv. Okay, so now if I open up employees out.csv, so I'm gonna edit that, put this side by side, if you look at it, so this is the exported data frame. If you look at it, it has index added, and the date time has changed. So this is my final data frame that I manipulated and changed. Okay, let me just close this. So let's now try to create a graph. So in order to create a graph, I'm going to use matplot library. So let me import that. So I'm just going to use matplot library. I note that I have installed it the library beforehand. If you don't have it, you just need to get it installed. Okay, it's taking a few minutes still. Okay, now if I do a Z-write, if you can see PLT as a, so okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for employees, total number of employees who were hired, I mean based on the year. Yeah, number of employees hired each year. I'm going to put it into a bar chart. So in order to do that, first I'm going to create a new data frame called df2 and get the start date, year and value counts, sort it, plot into a bar chart. Okay, so now I'm gonna use that. Okay, let's use built-ins print and look at how the df2 looks like. So if you see, it's a chart. So let me now export this data frame to a file. I'm going to export it to a PNG file. So I'm gonna, okay, let me just rename it employee hire. So I'm using the plot object save figure method, and now if I go to see InterSystems, and employee hire PNG. Okay, so you see the chart is generated. Always make sure if you're using plot, you need to close it. If not, if you don't close it, okay, I'll show you what happens. Let's say we did it again, for example. So I just wanted to do it again, and now I saved it as higher one. What will happen is Oh, I didn't see any difference there, but make sure that it gets closed to plot dot close. Oh, sorry, so not that. Okay, that's all for now. Hopefully I'll try and post more pandas commands and more about how to use embedded Python and pandas together. Thank you very much. Have a great day.